Alright, what up, y'all? So I was seriously sitting in a restaurant, chowing down on a burger, and this thought just slaps me in the head, just slapped me in the face. And I've been talking about this for a little bit, but it really sunk in. You know when you just get those big realizations and you're just like, whoa, and it just completely changes your life and how you view things. That's what happened to me. So I really internalized the fact that we are all influenced so deeply on a subconscious level. And the key there is subconscious. Subconscious means that it's deeper than our top layer of awareness, our daily level of awareness. So we're not usually aware of it. We're not aware of how our subconscious is ruling everything that happens externally. And I think the one key here to realize is that how powerful your mind is. Literally, your mind is creating everything in your existence. And it's important to note, too, that if your mind is creating your existence, then you could say that everyone has their own existence. Everyone has their own perspective. Because why could two people look at the same exact event and interpret it completely differently? We are all filtering everything through our perspective, through our mind, and the way we look at a thing is what it is. So this car I'm sitting in right now, because I have, like, humans are wired with an extra layer of consciousness that I believe, well, some animals might be more conscious than others, like cats might be pretty conscious compared to um, a rabbit. But humans have this extra layer of awareness to put labels on things. And so we label what I'm sitting in right now as a car. But if our brain didn't exist, that extra layer of perspective didn't exist to give it that meaning, it would just be, I was just going to say it would be like a moving platform on wheels, but then I just gave wheels the meaning. I just gave platform the meaning. So you can see how deep this gets. And we're constantly putting our labels onto things. I'm really trying to explain this in a way that clicks for people to really understand how important that is. Let's say, for example, like we can see colors because of our mind. It's our mind in conjunction with our eyes. It's not just our eyes. We see because of what's going on in that part of our brain. We hear the same exact thing as with our eyes. It's not just our ears, right? We hear because we process it in our brain. And so we are constantly interpreting everything that happens to us, and we have the power to change those interpretations. We have the power to, and our beliefs are creating everything about us. What you are is what you believe yourself to be. You can mold your beliefs, but it's not easy because we are constantly being molded without our consent with every single piece of information that we take in, with all the stuff on social media, with negative news sources. Even the thoughts that we think on a surface level about ourselves go deeper into that subconscious part of ourselves that is creating, it's that overlay that creates everything in our existence. So every thought, be it positive or a negative thought, is making yourself more positive or more negative. You're constantly molding yourself. And when we were born, we were extremely malleable. And those early years specifically, we were shaped. We got beliefs that are pretty much set in stone. But I actually made a course about how to rewire yourself. It's going to be available for pre order here at some point. But it is possible to rewire yourself, to wipe the slate clean, to realize all those limiting beliefs that you picked up, those fears, those anxieties that you've picked up over the years that are now just ruling you on a subconscious level. Like, we are ruled by things that we are not even aware of. And that's what I'm trying to get the point across. It's crazy when you really think about how many layers are over every single thing that we look, the lens behind the scenes that is controlling everything that we look at. I I don't know how else to explain it, but just realize that our mind is creating everything that we see, and we have the power to change our mind. And we're living on these outdated programs, these outdated things that we picked up over time, maybe from an event that happened in the past that caused a little bit of trauma that we haven't processed, that we haven't let go. It's now just ruling us in every single interaction that we get into in our daily life today. That's just insane to think about. And it's so crazy to think about things that could have happened years ago are still ruling us on a subconscious level. We haven't processed them. We haven't become aware of what is controlling us, be it a trauma of an event that happened in the past that we haven't gotten over yet, a fear that we developed as a child, or an insecurity or an anxiety that we haven't gotten over. It's still controlling us. And it's important to realize too that everything, I guess I kind of already talked about this, but another way to look at it is that everything in your external reality is mirroring what's going on inside of you. Everything that happens. For example, things that you might not like in other people that trigger you in other people are things that either you don't like about yourself or things that you need to work on and fix yourself. So it's an extra layer of consciousness to be aware of. And a lot of times I think we look externally to solve problems, but I'm all about getting to the root of the problem because I've experienced the healthcare system. I've experienced the band-aids that we put on things that keeps us caught in the cycle of needing that band-aid and not truly fixing the problems. And I think we're missing it. I think we are not realizing where the root of everything is, and that's deep inside our heads. I think, for example, we're missing the fact that how, for example, sadness or loneliness or chronic depression or anxiety can affect our physical health. I think that it gets that deep. It really does get that deep. Like your organs literally respond to your thoughts. Like your stomach will probably be operating more efficiently, more effectively if you are happy than when you are anxious. You can literally feel it in your stomach. And some people this might not resonate with. Some people, for some reason, don't want to fix their problems. They just want to constantly stay in this cycle of just struggle and pain. And I've experienced my fair share of struggle and pain. I've seen people who have struggled, who have been through a lot. And there is a reason for pain. It's a teacher. You're supposed to learn a lesson from it. That's what I believe, that we're supposed to learn lessons from these struggles, and then we're supposed to learn the lesson and move on so we don't repeat the lesson. But for some reason, people just get caught in these cycles. The same lesson will keep being presented to you by life until you figure it out. But until then, you're just going to keep repeating the cycle, repeating the cycle. A lot of us do not have autonomy over ourselves, over our internal state, and we just let every single thing we come in contact with influence us. The more lessons you learn and the faster you learn them, the more powerful and autonomous you become. And if you really want to change things, you have to dig deep into your wiring and observe your beliefs and observe your just habitual patterns and your thought patterns to things. And you have to just become the observer and ask yourself, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel negative? Why am I struggling with this fear or anxiety? And I talk about fear and anxiety all the time because those are the ones that I've experienced most and the ones that I think other people experience the most, that are literally holding us back from becoming the most authentic and the best version of ourselves. Like if you think about it, we should always be present in a situation. Our mind should always fully be focused on that situation in the present moment. But no, we're usually A lot of the times living in the future, sometimes living in the past. Living in the future is anxiety. Living in the future is fear of the unknown. Living in the past is depression or just backward thinking. We should always be in the present moment because that is us. When we're in the present moment, we are relaxed and react to the situation and be the person who we truly want to be. But instead, we're carrying around all this unprocessed baggage that distorts our perception of reality. It makes us a different person from who we truly want to be, our most authentic version. And then that just causes a whole slew of other problems. Like, okay, now we're just completely misaligned. We're one person on the inside, but our life on the outside isn't reflecting that. And then we get that resistance. And it just causes a whole other sort of struggles and problems. So that was a lot of me just spitting my brain out and trying to explain things, how I got that emotional reaction sitting there eating a burger in the restaurant. But the moral of the story is that our beliefs are extremely powerful. You can mold your beliefs, you can shape your perspectives. Being aware of how you are subconsciously influenced is the key to start controlling your reality and your outcomes. And this is why I believe they say that knowledge is power, and especially knowledge of self is power, because if you know this, you start to influence life how you want, and you literally, for lack of a better term, start to manifest things how you want them to manifest. So that's my video for today. If you like what I'm talking about, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and if you want more content, go ahead and subscribe and comment below your opinions on this, your thoughts on this, and that's all I got. Peace.